Hello, welcome back to Blender Live Noding. This is gonna be a quick, simple, basic video tutorial. So basically, if you have like a 3D objects and you want to cut it into half, and then you want to give it a different material, so that you can have like two nice pieces like this. How you can use Sverchok to do this. And even though I think I probably already talked about this about the bisect node, I haven't talked about it, how we can use a MATRIX EULER to kind of visualize the cutter. Okay, so yeah, let's just get started. So you can pick any kind of like a 3D mesh. I will just use the cube actually. I'm gonna save this, actually just gonna work on it right away, because if I save and then work on it, it tends to crash, I realize. So let's just use objects in, and we have this default cube. We can actually move the default cube somewhere else and use just viewer draw. It's gonna be still on the 0, 0, 0 unless we use the matrix apply here. If we apply the transformation of the object, of course the result in Sverchok will follow that particular 3D objects. If we don't use the matrix apply, it's gonna be still like at 0, 0 position. So that's taken care of. I'll save real quick. This is Bisect visualize. So the idea is really just to use Bisect nodes, but we want to be able to visualize these cut matrix. Whenever you see cut matrix, it's kind of vague. You know, if you're not familiar with it, you might think, how do I use this cut matrix? You know, if you use like matrix in, okay, it's expecting location, scale, rotation, and this angle. Rotation, of course, set to default 0, 0, 1, which is the z-axis. Okay, so if you cut it anyway, you get just a cut, well, just like if you have like a flat grid, and if you rotate it in the z-axis, it's like this guy is doing nothing. But if you rotate it in the 1, 0, 0, it does mean like x-axis, and you start rotating and you start seeing something. So that's actually when things kind of make sense. But to better visualize this guy, the cut matrix, sometimes you want to use actual plane. So the default plane, if you plug in I'll make it 10 by 10, center it, and if I actually plug this guy in, the matrix goes into this guy, you can see this is actually the cut matrix. So that's starting to make a little bit more sense, right? I'll give it a red color, or actually yellow color for the cut matrix. You can see how this cube being cut by the bisects. We can clear inner, clear outer, and do things like that. That's, yeah, very, very useful, I think. In fact, you can actually plug in like a multiple cut, like we already know, but we're not gonna do that yet for now. I want to talk about, instead of using this normal matrix goes in there, there is MATRIX EULER and MATRIX angle. Here we actually have XYZ. So you imagine if this guy is your cutter, and you plug in the MATRIX EULER in there, you can see, okay, you can just rotate it in X, in the Y, and the Z axis. See, it's becoming a little bit more clearer, I guess. Let's say if you want, for example, zero this out. Let's say we just cut it like this. So we have one side. We can have the other side as well, and you can fill the cut if you want. So that's really, really handy, and very, very clean cut as well, because it's the bisect node is using Blender operations, and it does it in a clear kind of way. And you can use a viewer B mesh here to get both sides of the cut. So plug this guy in, plug the cut matrix, have the inner cut, and you can fill the cuts. It's totally up to you. If you're gonna join them together again, don't use the fill cuts, otherwise you get a maybe something, a result that you don't want. So I'll show you. So this create the actual cut. Let me name this beta. So they both need to have different name, right? They are different objects. You can give it like a, this is material, this is cut A. Give it color of this reddish, and for the bottom one, bluish, it's gonna be cut B. You can assign the material as well here, and everything still works. So the cut works, everything nice, and you have two objects here. I'll duplicate it, and you can see they're very clean. So it's very nice. Yeah, I guess it's a lot clearer if you're using the XYZ sometimes, especially if you want to do like a, if you want to cut like this box like a pizza, for example. You want to use like a range of value. Let me try doing it. Probably make another one. So MATRIX EULER. We have this guy and this guy. Plug in. We don't clear the inner or outer. We just generate something. Actually, cut it like differently. Have a different name for it. So this guy, give it a different material. Let's try doing the cut. Okay, it's already being cut. Range, float, 10 count between 0 and 360 maybe, or 0 and 180. So we have 10 cut of the object. So yeah, that's actually that's actually working already, but it's generating 10 different objects. If we put a line MK2 here and kind of lay it out the 10 cut, this is what we get. So that's actually interesting in itself. If you want them to be like a single piece, that probably you need to work it out differently, but this is kind of nice. And if we clear the outer, this is what we get. Okay, so that's another look at the Bisect nodes, a little bit more advanced. I guess feel free to play around with it and see what you can come out with. Thanks again for tuning in. If you have any more feedbacks, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.